Welcome back to another episode in my kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking something along the lines of authentic Indian food. We're going to be cooking Sabzi Masala, which basically means a vegetable curry. Here we have about one medium onion that's been quite finely sliced. We have a good handful of coriander that's been finely chopped. We have some bullet chilies, we have some green and red chilies, 2 of each. We have about half a green pepper and half a red pepper diced. We have about half a tomato that's been cut up into 3. Here we have some near authentic Indian based gravy as opposed to the BIR. There's a recipe that precedes this video. If you'd like to make that, it just looks amazing, doesn't it? We have the dried spices. We have 1.5 heap teaspoons of cumin and coriander, freshly ground, powdered, and about half a teaspoon of turmeric or turmeric, as everybody likes to call it. And we have some red chili powder. And here we have some parboiled vegetables, peas, carrots, potatoes, and cauliflower that have been parboiled in a little bit of salt and a little bit of turmeric. So let's start with the cooking stage. I've preheated about 2 tablespoons of oil, and to that I'm going to add about a tablespoon, or I actually think this is a dessert spoon, of ginger and garlic paste. I'm going to let that sizzle off. I repeat myself a lot, but to get rid of that raw taste, always really important. Right, next I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to give that a good stir. I don't want to brown the onions or anything like that. I just want to make them translucent, which seems to be the big buzzword about cooking onions. So we'll come back to that in about 2 minutes. So they've been frying for about 1.5 minutes. Yeah, I think some of you might guess maybe I should have put the ginger and garlic paste in after the onions, but okay. So let's put the peppers in. Those don't have to be totally cooked. I like them to be quite crisp, along with the chilies. Again, I'm going to give those a good stir. And I'm going to let them soften over the next minute or so, and we'll come back to it. So those have been slowly softening now for about 1.5 minutes. Careful not to burn the ginger and garlic. The smell is amazing. So let's add some of the vegetables. Right, okay. And again, give it a really good stir. Oops. Now I'm going to add my whole spices. I'm going to give that a really quick stir. Then I'm going to add a little bit of the base gravy, just to loosen the mix up a bit. So you definitely don't want to overcook your vegetables, because they'll break apart when you're stirring. So I've made sure to parboil all this, and I'm going to now add a little bit of water to that. And I'm just going to let those spices absorb, and we're going to come back in about a minute. So those have been heating up nicely. I'm going to now add a little bit of salt, just a good pinch of rock salt. I didn't include that in the ingredients, but it's fairly obvious because salt is the graphic equalizer of spices. Right. I'm going to add those tomatoes. Next I'm going to add the base gravy. Give that a stir. So nothing complicated, pretty straightforward and simple, but delicious. I'm going to let that heat up and we'll come back shortly. So that's been cooking away nicely. It's starting to bubble, the oil's starting to separate from the rest of the ingredients. It's looking really great. So now's the time I like plenty of coriander. You don't really need to cook coriander, but I do like it to disperse among the dish. Give that a stir. And that was the majority of the coriander. I didn't use all of it. So just wet that coriander up so it sort of disappears and reduces in size really. Give it a good stir again. So let's a sprinkle of garam masala. And we'll let that simmer now for about 40 seconds and then it's ready to serve. So we're now ready to serve. Have a look at that. Amazing, yeah? Especially if you're a vegetarian, even if you're a meat eater. But look at the colour, look at the shine, you know, the flavours. You should smell what it's like in my kitchen now. Let's just pour that into a serving bowl. Amazing with rice, biryani, you name it, on its own. And finally, use the rest of the coriander as a garnish. And there you have it. Authentic or neo-authentic Sabzi masala.